Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to Ask MBA. So I thought today I'll go live and I'll talk about what exactly GDPI is and how it's to be done. And before we begin this live, I want to tell you that if you are someone who has got a call for GDPI from any college, or maybe you are going for a B rated college or a B college, not A grade college, but still you need to get in touch with your faculty or still you need to clear GDPI. So this live is going to help you immensely. Okay. So first thing first, let's understand what is interview. Interview is nothing but it checks what is inside you, what is your interview. That means as a person what you are. Now they have already gauged your intelligence by the entrance examination score. Now based on your entrance examination score, you will be given consideration for GDPI which you have got. If you are watching this video, of course it means that you are preparing for it. Now recently Symbiosis also released their cutoffs and whatnot, so I'm sure if you are someone who have got a call for SCIT, SIDTM, SCIT या कोई भी Symbiosis का campus. So let's go ahead and understand. Guys, please understand this thing. You guys are going to take help of ChatGPT and AI. Everyone is going to do that. Now, the faculty or the interviewer, they want to ask you something different. They want to ask you something that you have not anticipated, right? So, for example, let's say if there is a girl who has mehendi or hina mehendi lagati na ladkiyan in their hand, and the interview is going on, the interviewer might start asking you questions on mehendi, that what is it, and for what function you guys have got that, and what is the history behind it, what is it known, what are the designs and whatnot. They can ask you any damn thing because they just want to see how you answer a particular question. Secondly, guys, the interviewer has already decided. More than 70% the decision is already made before even the interview whether you're going to be in or not. Why? They got your entrance examination scores, they got your academic records, they also made you fill in so much of information like what is your strength, what is your weakness, statement of purpose, and what other not of information. So they know what exactly a kind of person you are. But then this interview is going to make their mind change only if you do something extremely good, if you are not getting selected, extremely bad if you're selected, but they might reject you. So try to make sure that whenever you are applying to these colleges, whenever you are filling up the form, that is very much certain information how you are portraying it, and do not copy from chat gpt. आप chat gpt से copy information नहीं करेंगे. You won't be copying information from chat gpt. You're going to write in, type in, you make the best version of what you can do. Maybe for the grammar you can take the help of chat gpt, maybe for the spelling errors or some error which you might have missed or which you might have done, you can check gpt chat, you can use chat gpt for that. But you are not going to use chat gpt to give you the answer, the whole answer. If you think that you're going to be smart, you're going to use some humanizer after portraying some information, maybe you can fool the interviewer feeling or assuming that that is written by you. But the moment you open your mouth, the moment you start answering questions, if the way you are answering a question is not matching with the language you have mentioned in SOP or the information you have provided in the application form or the registration form, if you have got the call, you're going to get rejected then and there. The worst thing a candidate can give it to the interviewer is insincerity or the dishonesty. So maybe you can use a humanizer or some chatbot to make your answer looks humanized, but trust me, you cannot fool yourself. My structure of writing is something, or it shows a different kind of personality or a person who can speak in English fluently. But when I'm interviewed, when I'm talking to an interviewer, I am not the way I was supposed to. It is a short sign that I'm going to get rejected. So you need to make sure that you do not do that. You write down the answers, you type in the answer, use Chat GPT or any AI to fix the grammatical errors, to make it more refined. But do not try to use the language which is not of yours, because while getting the answers of the similar kind of question, they'll get to know this thing and you will be rejected then and there. Second point, that you need to go back and learn and understand about the graduation you have done. Maybe you are an engineering student, maybe you are a commerce, BMS, or whatever student. You need to know the basics of your graduation. You will be asked so many questions. In fact, they will be asking you n number of questions based on your graduation. If you're an engineer, mechanical, electronic, computer science, whatever engineering you have done, you will be asked in and out questions of that. Maybe you have done BA in arts or BA in philosophy or whatnot. You will be asked in-depth questions from the graduation for the content you have done. Now, what mistakes students do here? They feel that, okay, let's say if I am an engineer and I'm a chemical engineer, and the interviewer asking me a question on some equation or something. As a chemical engineer, maybe I do not know the answer, but I try to bluff because I assume how I'll be caught. Maybe the interviewer doesn't know the answer, so let me give them any answer because I want to answer something and I won't be caught. I want to tell you that is your biggest error. If the interviewer is asking you a question, I want to tell you 100% they know the answer, because they are training so many students from various backgrounds, and every student adds something to their intellect, and they have conducted thousands and thousands of interviews. So they might have asked a similar kind of question to another chemical engineer who might have answered the question correctly. So they know the answer. So if they are asking you a question which you think you do not know or you do not know, please do not try to bluff. Do not just try to fill in by giving a random wrong answer, because that is again the second biggest turn off, that yes, you will be rejected then and there. Third is that you are giving stupid answers. You're trying to cover up for your laziness. You're trying to cover up for not being sincere in education by giving an example of personal problems. You might say that I had some issue and because of that, this thing happened. Maybe you are telling them the truth. Maybe that situation made you score not good or the way you could have. But if you use that excuse to hide behind that excuse of not getting a great score in graduation or maybe had a year down, then you're going to be in trouble. You need to acknowledge your mistakes. You need to acknowledge your mistake. You need to acknowledge that yes, you have, maybe you had the issue, maybe you are the unlucky one, but you have learned and understood a lot from your mistake, and now you are not repeating it. You are making sure that you are not going for that error and whatnot. Okay. So if they ask you your weakness, they are basically asking, do you have a plan of action to overcome the weakness? Now, guys, when the interviewer is asking you question, there are two things. One is they ask you directly, and one is they want to know what is not directly asked, but they gauge by the answer you have given. For example, let's say if you go on a date and if a girl asks you, okay, now you look so good, you must be having so many girlfriends. So this question is basically not to know whether you have girlfriends or not. It is to judge your honesty or whether you are a playboy or not. So the interviewer is going to ask you a question, but that question answer could be two ways. One is direct and one is that they want to listen. And you need to understand that, right? So if they ask you, okay, what if you do not get select? What if you do not get select today? Then what you're going to do? So you need to have an answer to that. Maybe they'll ask you a question, why we should give you the admission, not to the other person. Then you're going to say, sir, I'm the best. I have done this. I have done that. I am honest, I am loyal, I am this, I am that. Every interviewee is going to answer the similar kind of question. You should have a diplomatic, smart answer, an honest answer to this question. Let me give you an example. Let's say if the interviewer is going to ask you why we should select you, not the other candidate, you can simply answer this question. So I cannot comment on the candidature of other candidates, but then I can talk about myself. I've got this opportunity after so much of hard work, so I will make sure that I make the most of it. I will complete the assignment task given on time with my 100% commitment and dedication. I try to get as good grades I can in MBA. And after getting placed, I will come back to the college and share my experience, share the goodness I've what got in life because of this great institution to and pass it on to my juniors. So this is the kind of answer you can give it to the interviewer. And you cannot answer, And guys, one more thing. If you ask these questions to Chat GPT is going to give you a similar kind of answer, which is given to everyone. If I'm going to give a prompt that how to answer this question, and maybe a guy in Karnataka or a girl in something, everyone is going to do the same thing. So please understand this thing, guys. You do not need to get the answers, and you must not just simply cut, copy, paste from ChatGPT. You can get an idea, okay? You can get an idea from ChatGPT, but you can simply not focus on ChatGPT's answer to make sure that yes, you will be selected and whatnot. The another point which I want to highlight here, if you are getting prepared for GDPI, or if you're planning to prepare for GDPI, you need to be very much aware of current affairs. You need to know the terms. You need to understand what is happening around the world, not just in India, but across the world, in Asia, how the foreign policy is affecting. Now, guys, now we live in a world where maybe you do not give a damn about what is happening in others country, but if you do not safeguard your interest, or if you do not take right measures, that fire could reach you, or definitely going to reach you rather. So you need to be aware of the fact. I strongly recommend you guys to read a good newspaper. You can read Economic Times. You can listen uh, to a news channel, or the app known as News on Air. It is a DD Doordarshan News. They give you news in English and in regional languages. They have an app which you can download on, whether you use an Android or iOS. You can download that app and you can use that. So make sure that you do it and make the most of it. I just wanted to go live and I wanted to have some interaction with the students, and I wanted to give out my pointers that these are the things you need to keep in mind. Please do not take your graduation information and current affairs for granted. Lastly, the bonus point before I end this live, you need to know about the college in depth. You need to know the history of the college. You need to know what is the syllabus you're going to go for. Let's say if you have applied for human resource, you got a call from human resource. So what are the topics? What is the schedule? You need to get an idea so that if they ask you a similar kind of question, when you answer it, it seems that yes, you have done your research. It looks like yes, this guy is sincere. This person has done the research about what he or she is getting into. So you might get a brownie point. Group discussion is, guys, discussion. It is not group argument. Yes, but then there are going to be some jackasses in your group. They might try to make it a argument or a courtroom. At that time, you need to play smart. You need to play diplomatic, because it is not, you're not there to make your argument stand out or to win the argument. Your agenda is to get selected. Your agenda is to be the leader, or to showcase that why you should be in and others are not, because they are doing a mistake. And I suggest, in fact, it's good to be in a trouble situation. Why? Because, or in a hot soup. Why? Because then it is easy for you to figure out how to be smart in the worst and stand out. So that's it, guys. At Ask MBA, I'm going to train you one to one. If you want me to train you for GDPI, if you want me to make sure that I give you the answers, the kind of answers you put in or portray to the college, because that is the most important thing. Please make sure that you get in touch with us. Please make sure that you get in touch with us and share your story. It is going to be one to one based on the slots, because I've got many students to train for, and I do not train students in a group because every student is different. Every student has its own story. They got their own background. So I cannot give one pill to all the elements, right? So you need to get in touch with us if you want us. And if you feel that this live has given you some idea, some understanding that what must be done and what must be avoided, please make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, guys. Stay blessed. And I hope you do not repeat the mistakes what I have mentioned in this live.